Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Padyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti-smriti-purāṇānaṁ ālayam karuṇālayam namāmi bhagavadpādham Shankaram lokashankaram Shankaram Shankarācāryam Keshavam Bādharāyanam Sutra-bhāśya-kritau vande Bhagavantau punah-punah Ishvaro Gururātmeti Murti-bheda-vibhāgine Vyoma-vat-vyapta-dehāya Dakṣinā-murtaye namaha. Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniam Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandhadami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Sunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedais Sankapadakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Dadgatena Manasam Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantanna Vidhusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Namaste once again, everyone.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste. So before we start, I just wanted to have a few words regarding what I am trying to do in this year 2024. See, when we join these classes, Vedanta classes, we have to be really serious about it. There's no point that because it is freely available, let me join the group. In any case, Acharya is circulating the videos of the talks. Even if I don't attend, it doesn't matter. I will catch up with the videos. If that is going to be anybody's attitude, then I would rather not have such a person in the class, because that doesn't show seriousness. Your seriousness is known to me only by your attending to in the class. And as I keep saying every time, all Acharyas will repeat, even one serious student is enough for an Acharya, instead of 100 part-time students who just come and go, visiting students. So therefore, see, after all this exercise, today we have got 15 students who are in the class, 16 including me. 25 people have confirmed that they will be attending the classes. So you see, this is the situation. Even when you say, I am interested in attending, there's one student who said today he cannot attend, that is okay. So we have got a gap of 9 students who are not attending, at least 8 students who have just 2 days before confirmed to me that they will be regular in the class. They are not in the class. I am not going to permit this kind of behavior, because you are attending the class is not an issue for you, but for me, I see it as you are actually doing a great disservice to the entire Vedas. It is an insult to our scriptures that you are doing by joining the class and not attending. And not attending, fine. Occasionally, you may not be able to do that. But not informing also that you will not be able to attend. That is the degree to which the carelessness has gone. So I am going to be serious. And there are 2 things that I am going to introduce from today onwards. Number 1, everybody who is attending has to go to the chat box and record their name as attendance in the beginning of the class. Number 1. Number 2, I am going to stop circulating the videos after the class. I will upload the videos to YouTube. Those students who are really committed, those who are interested, they can go to the YouTube and then watch the videos, even if you want to revise it. And third thing is, in case a student has informed me in advance that he will not be able to attend, he or she will not be able to attend, and then after the class requests for the video link, to that student, I will separately send the video link because he has shown interest. All others, this kind of guest students, I would better not have it in the class. And let me have only serious students who I know I can count on my fingers who have been regularly attending the classes, except for some very few occasions. For any student, 80% attendance is a must for these classes. And the second thing also, there is a problem in this, Zoom like of classes. You can just log in and think that, Acharya will not know. Because in the Gurukulam, what they used to do, my Acharya used to do, before the beginning of the prayer, all the doors of that hall will be locked from inside. No student can enter the hall, the classroom, once the prayer begins. That I cannot enforce here, because given the limitations of this electronic media. So to that extent, I will have to put up with it. But you have to show your seriousness by attending the classes regularly, and I will know how many classes you have attended, are you regular or not, by seeing your attendance. And if I find that there are students who, having been again recommitted that they will attend, if I find that they are not regular in attending, then one last time I will withdraw their names from the group. And again, if they come back, I will not admit them. So these are the few words I wanted to share with you right in the beginning to increase the seriousness of this Bhagavad Gita, learning rather. It should not be a very casual thing like, okay, seeing the TV serials and things like that and all. It should not be like that. I consider it's a great insult to our scriptures, Bhagavad Gita and all Vedanta scriptures, Upanishads, etc. And if you are going to insult the teachings in this way, I can guarantee you the teaching will never come to you. You will never get Bhagavan's blessing for learning all these things. And this is a human birth you have got, and this is one opportunity, golden opportunity. Nobody knows what kind of a birth we are going to get next. So that is the opportunity. I would appeal to all of you to use this opportunity and be regular in attending the classes. Okay. So today, please record all your names on the chat box so that after the class, I will review the attendance of today's class. Okay. So with that, now, it has been a little strong dose, but I couldn't help it. So today I will give you a summary of the 4th chapter of Gita we just finished in the last class. The 4th chapter can broadly be classified into 3 portions. First portion dealing with Avatara, that is incarnation of the Lord. The second topic, Jnana Karma Sannyasa, which is the central theme of the 4th chapter. And the third topic is Jnana Sadhana Phalani, the means of gaining knowledge and the benefits of gaining self-knowledge. These are the 3 topics we find in the 4th chapter. I request everybody to please mute their mics because I'm hearing some background noise. So these 3 topics I have said: Avatara topic, Jnana Karma Sannyasa topic, and Jnana Sadhana Phalani topic. Each topic I will summarize. In case if I take a few minutes extra, please bear with me. So first is Ishvara Avatara, which is discussed from verse number 1 to verse number 15. And in this portion, Krishna shows the difference between Ishvara Avatara and Jiva Janma. Even though both of them superficially appear to be the same, because Bhagavan also, like Rama, Krishna, they have parents. They have got birthday celebration like Janmashtami, Ramanavami, etc. And the Lord also, we have seen from Itihasa, has also grown up like any other human being. And so since they all look the same, we should know what is the technical difference between a Jiva Janma and Ishvara Avatara. So these differences, we can basically reduce it to three main differences. One is at the level of cause of Avatara and cause of Janma. Second is at the very level of the Swarupam, the very nature of Avatara and Janma. And the third is with regard to the very purpose, why Bhagavan takes Avatara and why Jiva Janma takes place. So Karana, Swarupa and Uddesham, Lakshyam, the purpose. These are the three main differences we will try to understand. At the Karana level, at the cause level, the difference we saw was that Jiva's Janma is caused by what? Avidya, Mula Avidya, ignorance. It is because of ignorance, Jiva has got the ego. And it is because of the ego, he considers himself to be a Karta Bhokta, and in the process he acquires Punya Papam. And it is because of Punya Papam, he is forced to take one body after another, till the Punya Papam are exhausted, which practically are inexhaustible. Therefore, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam keeps on taking place. Therefore, whenever a Jiva takes a Jiva Janma, it is considered to be a fall. Fall from a higher pedestal to a lower pedestal. From its Paramatma Swarupa to a Jiva Swarupa. And the Jiva is helpless to a large extent in this. So the fall is clean and it's very steep. So Ajnanam is the Karanam for Jiva Janma. Whereas in the case of Ishvara, the cause of Avatara is certainly not ignorance, because Ishvara is Sarvagya, he is omniscient. And also another cause is compassion of the Lord. Therefore, whenever we describe the birth of a Lord, we will not compare it in terms of a Jiva Janma like falling down, but we say the Lord descends down to uplift the human being. Swami Paramarthanandaji gives a very beautiful example. He says, when a person falls into a well, he has gone down, he has fallen into the well. Then there is another person who wants to rescue this person. He also goes into the well. But there is a difference between the two of them. One has fallen and another has descended to help him out. And that is why in the case of Ishvara, we use the word avataraha. Avatarati. Avatarati means the one who comes down purely out of compassion for the jivas. And once the Lord has come down, he has to go through a lot of worldly problems also. Rama had endless problems. Krishna had endless problems. But the Lord chooses to go through all of them. Therefore, the purpose of Lord coming down is to help the humankind. So in the case of Jiva Janma, Ajnanam is Karanam. In the case of Ishvara, Avatara, Jnanam and Karuna is the Karan. Second difference that we saw was with regard to the very nature, the Swarupa. And there I had pointed out two differences. The first one is, since Jiva comes down because of ignorance, Jiva is bound. Jiva is ignorant of his higher nature, and therefore Jiva suffers because of self-ignorance, and therefore Jiva is a Baddha Swarupa. A bondage is created. The bondage of samsara he falls into. Whereas Ishvara, because of his omniscience, it is a leela, it is a sport for him. It's a game. Ishvara is Mukta Swarupa. Therefore, Swarupataya, Jiva is Baddha Swarupa and Ishvara is Mukta Swarupa. This is one difference. The second difference is also a very interesting difference. The body of Jiva is made out of 5 elements. Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa and Prithvi. And these 5 elements are what? They are Maya. But Maya does not directly produce the body. Body, mind, sense complex. When I say body, you can include the body, mind, sense complex. Maya first produces the 5 elements, and through the 5 elements, the Jiva Shariram is formed. And therefore, it is called Bhautika Shariram. Indirectly, Maya, from Maya, indirectly, the body, mind, sense complex is formed. Whereas in the case of Ishvara, it is supposed to be a direct conversion of Maya into Shariram. Therefore, Ishvara Shariram is called Mayika Shariram. So the second difference that we have discussed is Jivasya Bhautika Shariram, Avatarasya Mayika Shariram. So these are the 2 differences at the level of the Swarupa. Then we discussed about the difference at the level of purpose. In the case of Jiva, the purpose of Janma is what? Exhaustion of Punya Papa. Because Punya Papa can be exhausted only through experience of Sukha Dukkha. And Sukha Dukkha can be experienced only when there is a functional Shariram in the waking state and dream state. That is when the Stula Sharira and Sukshma Sharira are operating. And that is why in Sushupti, when we do not have, in deep sleep state, when we do not have an operating body, we do not interact with the world. Therefore, whenever we are in deep sleep, we do not exhaust our Punya Papa. And that is why discipline in sleep also is very important. These days, we see that people are sleeping for hours and hours together. They may be at that particular time enjoying that sleep, but they must actually know that the Punya Papa exhaustion meter has stopped at that time. Therefore, Shastra accepts the exhaustion of Punya Papas either through physical body or through any other body, but a body is required. Even animal body, even though no fresh Punya Papams are added, the animal body's experiences or exhaustion of the Punya Papa only earned by the Jiva or accumulated by the Jiva in a human birth. Therefore, we assume the body to exhaust our Punya Papa, and that is why even the type of body in which family it is born is all determined by the type of Punya Papa. Therefore, we must understand, I am responsible for the type of body that I have. And therefore, Jiva Janmana Uddesham is Punya Papa Kshayam. Whereas Ishvara's avatara is not for Punya Papa Kshaya. Because Bhagavan is Punya Papa Atita hai. He is Punya Papa Atita hai because he does not have Ajnanam. It is Ajnanam which leads to Punya Papa. And Krishna himself has stated the purpose of his avatara. What did he say? He said, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya adhatmanam srijamyaham. And he says, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samstapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. This is the purpose of avatara in Krishna's own words. And as we have discussed, the entire cosmic order is sustained by dharma. And the dharmic order is what we call Ishvara. Since creation, sustenance, and renewal of the cosmos, by renewal I mean destruction and recreation. Since all these three, creation, sustenance, and renewal of the cosmos is driven by this dharmic order, we say Ishvara is Srishtikarta, Stitikarta, and Layakarta. So Ishvara is responsible for the arrival of this creation, for the maintenance also, and for the maintenance of the creation in line with dharma. But this dharmic order is under constant challenge from adharmic forces, which want to destroy this adharmic order. Even at the human being level, we are seeing it on a day-to-day basis. How some people who are adharmic, who follow adharmic practices, they want to destroy dharmic forces and dharmic practices. People are out to destroy even the whole Sanatana Dharma without understanding what it is all about. Therefore, when there is no threat to the dharmic order, Ishvara does not interfere. But when the dharma in the cosmos is severely threatened by adharmic forces, and thereby people who lead a dharmic life face the threat of extinction, as a Stitikarta for the continued maintenance of the dharmic order, Ishvara is forced to interfere and take avatara. Now, Ishvara as a Stitikarta has delegated this task to human beings and also provided a manual in the form of Dharma Shastra for the human beings to follow. Therefore, he has given a method for maintaining the creation, which is called the dharmic way of life. And people who follow this way of life are called dharmis. It is when the human beings fail to follow the manual of instructions, or if we refuse to follow the manual of instructions, which mostly are based on common sense, then Bhagavan says, I have no option but to interfere and correct the imbalance. So I take the avatara. And this avatara maintains the creation in two ways. One is a very direct method, another is a very drastic method. Like a surgeon removing a severely infected body part, which could be a threat to life itself. We have seen, many diabetic patients, their limb, especially the lower part, the legs, they are affected by gangrene. Or take another example, some people afflicted by malignant tumor. Therefore, the drastic method is the destruction of that part itself. There is no other remedy. You amputate the limb for a diabetic patient, or you have to remove the malignant tumor through surgery. Along with that, some body part also may go away. Similarly, in the case of adharmic people, the drastic method is destruction of the adharmic people like asuras, rakshasas, etc. But this cannot be used on a regular basis, because if we apply the norms in today's context, where dharma is widespread, adharma is widespread, most of the people will have to be destroyed. That's not possible. Therefore, Bhagavan has got a second method. And that second method is educating the humanity. Therefore, we find that in certain avatars, like Narasimha Avatara, etc., Bhagavan destroys the Rakshasas. But in certain avatars, like Rama, Avatara, Krishna Avatara, etc. Bhagavan does a twofold job. One is destruction of the Rakshasas, another is education about dharma and dharmic way of living, reminding the humanity to be responsible for sustaining the cosmic order, the dharmic order. And that is why we consider the two avatars as important avatars. In Rama Avatara, Rama taught by living dharma. And in Krishna Avatara, Bhagavan Krishna has given us Srimad Bhagavad Gita teaching. Krishna also destroyed so many adharmic people. But what is Krishna known for? Not for killing Kamsa, etc. He is known for his Bhagavad Gita teaching. And we saw that Krishna, right in the beginning of the 4th chapter, said that due to the passage of time, gradually people started losing interest in the wisdom of the sages, which has been coming down through the ages. And therefore, he tells Arjuna that he is now imparting this wisdom to Arjuna by reviving this ancient teaching. Therefore, the purpose of Avatara is Dharma Rakshanam, Veda Rakshanam. If you recall, this is what he said. Sa evayam maya tedhya yoga prokta puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hetaduttamam. He says the very same ancient yoga which has been taught by me to you now, that is the yoga, the teaching which he gave to Surya Bhagavan. He says the same yoga I am teaching you to you now because you are my friend and devotee. And this teaching is the highest secret. I am going to reveal this secret to you in totality. And that is what Krishna does in all the 17 chapters. Therefore, revival of Dharma, both by teaching and destroying adharmic people, is the purpose of Avatara. So we have now seen the cause is different, nature is different, purpose is also different. And having talked about Avatara, Krishna concluded that discussion by making a very powerful, beautiful statement in which he also reveals the secret he had talked about in the above sloka. The 9th sloka, he says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattatah tyaktva deham punar janma naiti mameti sorjuna. Says, O Arjuna, he who thus really knows my divine birth and action does not take another birth after giving up the body. He attains me. That means he attains moksha. The Lord also has also got two natures. One is a higher nature, other is a lower nature. But what is the secret of this? The higher nature of the Lord is never subject to birth and death. That's why when we see Rama Avatara, Krishna Avatara, we are celebrating the lower nature of the Lord. That is why there is a birth, there is a death, etc. Whereas higher nature of the Lord, he is Paramatma. There is no birth, no death for that Paramatma. Janma Marana Atita. Therefore, from the standpoint of the higher nature, Dehi Drishtya, Chaitanya Drishtya, or Swarupa Drishtya, Bhagavan is birthless. But from the standpoint of his superficial body, from the standpoint of his lower nature, he is subject to birth and death. From the standpoint of Krishna Paramatma, he is what? Ajopi sannapyatma bhutanam ishwaropi san, he says. Therefore, the one who knows the birthless higher nature of the Lord and the one who knows the lower nature of the Lord as the one with the birth and death, and that person, when he knows that the higher nature of the Lord is no different from my own higher nature, Aham Brahmasmi, one who knows, he will be liberated. So therefore, Krishna concludes the Avatara topic with the 15th verse. And this is the unique, this Avatara topic is unique in the entire Gita. Because no other chapter Krishna discusses this. This is the only place, 4th chapter, he discusses this. Then the next topic is Jnana Karma Sannyasa, which is the central theme of not only 4th chapter, but also the entire Bhagavad Gita. Very important portion. It is from verse 16 to 24. And in this portion, Krishna wants to point out that there are two types of renunciation, two types of karma sannyasa. One type of renunciation is the popular renunciation, in which a person quits the society, becomes a monk, a sannyasi, in which he has given up all karmas. Karmas here means duties. Because as long as he is a member of the society, he has got duties at various levels, at the individual level, at the family level, at the society level, etc. But a formal sannyasi has no duties. And he is supposed to dedicate himself to the pursuit of the highest goal, moksha. And if he has already attained the highest, then his only duty is share it in any way that he can afford. This is physical renunciation, external renunciation. It is also called Chaturtha Ashrama or Sannyasa Ashrama, the 4th state of life, 4th stage of life. And there is a second type of sannyasa, which has nothing to do with our external personality. It is purely inner renunciation by discovering detachment through vairagya. Swami Paramarthanandaji gives one very beautiful modern example to which we all can relate to. He says the inner renunciation is like a non-stick tawa. Tawa, no? The pan, non-stick pan. It will do everything that any other pan will do, but the contents will not stick to the pan. Of course, the Shastric example we have all seen is the water droplet on a lotus leaf, lotus leaf, which again doesn't stick to the lotus leaf. Therefore, non-stick tawa bhava. And how can you accomplish that? There is only one method of accomplishing that. You have to switch or change your understanding about yourselves. Self-knowledge has to be there. Self-elevation has to be there. Because as a body, karma association cannot be avoided. As mind, karma association cannot be avoided because body and mind are integrally related to the world. Therefore, interactions are inevitable. So what you have to do? You have to discover a different I, which is higher than the body-mind complex, which is called Atma Tattvam. And once I discover my higher nature, the Atma, which fortunately happens to be Asangha, which happens to be Akasha Tulya, just as Akasha is associated with everything. Akasha means space, associated with everything, but it is not polluted by anything. Similarly, I have to do self-inquiry and clearly understand that my real nature, I am not this body, I am not this mind also. And this is the only permanent solution. It is a difficult solution, no doubt, which requires Sravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasana. So through Jnana Yoga, through Vedanta Vichara, when I learn to detach from actions internally, that is called internal renunciation. And Krishna gives it a beautiful title, Janma Karma Sannyasa. One moment, I just sent one message. Somebody is frantically trying to reach me. So I'll just send a message that I'll call them. So Jnana Karma Sannyasa is the title here. If you translate in English, it will mean renunciation of action through knowledge. Without physically stopping the action, continuing to do everything as before. It is like selling a house and continuing to live in the same house. Now, when you have sold the house and continue to live in the house is the same. Things may be the same. But in your mind, what is not there? The ownership is not there. Therefore, the attitude itself changes. Earlier, you are a landlord, you are a different attitude. Today, you are a tenant, your attitude changes. And this is the attitude of a jnani, irrespective of whether he has taken to formal sannyasa or not. And Krishna has expounded this knowledge in 2 slokas. यस्य सर्वे समारंभा है काम संकल्प वर्जिता है ज्ञानाग्नि दग्ध कर्माणम तमाहु पंडितम बुधा है त्यक्त्वा कर्म फला संगम नित्य तृप्तो निराश्रय है कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोपि नैव किंचित करोति सः. Beautifully he has defined what is Jnana Karma Sannyasa is all about. So what transformation it brings out? The interactions and their consequences are seen objectively. Earlier, with everything that was happening, every experience, there was an emotional attachment. And that emotional attachment led to so many problems. But now, they're all seen objectively, and this objectivity removes reactions towards the situation and one thoughtfully responds to the situation. Knee-jerk reaction is replaced by thoughtful response. It is not that he will be like a stone. He will also see everything. He is also going to see differences between success and failure. But the jnanam, the knowledge, acts as a shock absorber and drastically reduces the impact of life situations. Even if there is a temporary disturbance, the knowledge helps in fast recovery. Therefore, in these 2 slokas, Krishna describes about a householder jnani as well as a sannyasi jnani. And in the sloka 24, he further described the attitude of a grihastha jnani who, despite being fully immersed in all the karmas, including Vaidika karmas, is able to gain and maintain the Advaita Drishti. Brahmarpanam Brahma Havihe Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. Now this verse is considered to be the most important verse of the Gita itself. because it talks about the highest knowledge. It is not a description of a sannyasi jnani. It is the description of a grihastha jnani who is fully engaged in all Vaidika karmas. Agnihotra he performs. Every day, 2 times he is performing the homa. So from this, we come to know that the liberation is not dependent upon the ashrama. Liberation is dependent on your wisdom or the lack of it. If wisdom is not there, every ashrama is a bondage. In fact, sannyasa ashrama is the greatest risk without wisdom. Next chapter, we will see detail about sannyasa ashrama. Whereas in grihastha ashrama, one can survive as a ajnani, which is what we are all successfully doing now, isn't it? So a grihastha can happily manage without jnanam, but a sannyasa life without jnanam is a very risky thing. Because sannyasa is a one-way street. You can enter sannyasa from either from brahmacharyam, from grihastha, or even from vanaprastha. All 3 ashrams you can enter sannyasa. But once entered, you cannot come back to the grihastha life or brahmacharya life, etc. And that is why the moment a person takes sannyasa, if he is already a jnani, no problem. That kind of sannyasa is called vidvat sannyasa. If not, if we are a vividisha sannyasi, that person must immediately look for facility for pursuit of knowledge. He must go to some ashram, some gurukulam, look for a guru and get this knowledge as early as possible. Therefore, Krishna is highlighting that what is important is jnanam. Without jnanam, every ashrama is risky. With jnanam, every ashrama is wonderful. Therefore, Arjuna, concentrate on jnanam. So this is the second topic, jnana karma sannyasa, inner renunciation through knowledge. Then the third topic, from 25th to the end, Krishna talks about jnana sadhana phalani. To attain this knowledge, what preparations are required? Krishna talks about many sadhanas, known as sahakari sadhanas or supporting sadhanas. Such disciplines can accomplish 2 ends. One is certain composure, certain tranquility and steadiness of mind. Second end that can be accomplished is maturity, a freedom from the control by one's raga dveshas, likes and dislikes, which hold one as a hostage throughout the life. You can release yourself from their shackles by prayers and rituals, which help you gain certain attitudes. And what are they? I will just briefly mention what we have seen. Krishna talked about 12 yajnas. I hope you all remember. In Sloka 25, he talks that a jnani sees only Brahman everywhere, and for him, everything is Brahman alone. This is the culmination of Advaita Darshana. And he shows the contrast in the attitude between Karma Yogi and a jnani. He says that some jnana yogis or jnanis offer the very self by offering the self into the fire of Brahman. Yajna yajnena juhvati, he said. That is, they resolve the lower I into the higher I, the limited I into the limitless I. And as we saw, this is what is known even in bhakti literature as the highest form of bhakti. Atma Nivedana Bhakti. Then talking about the second sadhana, he says others, that is, who are not jnana yogis like this, the jnanis, who are karma yogis, they perform deva yajna alone, which leads to antakarana shuddhi, which prepares them for jnana yoga. Then the third one, third yajna or discipline, sadhana, he talked about is indriya sanyama yajna, sensory discipline or managing and directing the sense organs. Otherwise, in Tattva Bodha language called Damaha. Fourth one is Vishaya Nigraha Yajna, resolving the sense objects in the sense organs. Because when the sense organs begin to become my master and I become a slave, if I am developing any sensory weakness, I need to overcome that weakness. And I do it by offering the sense objects like sound, etc., into the fire of sense organs. Then Krishna introduced the fifth yajna, Atma Sanyama yajna. Earlier one was Indriya Sanyama yajna. This is Atma Sanyama yajna or Shamaha, mental discipline, which is tougher, which is a very tough yajna as compared to sensory discipline. Then he introduced four more disciplines, namely Dravya Yajna hai, practice of charity, Tapo Yajna hai, practice of austerities, Yoga Yajna hai, practice of Ashtanga Yoga, and Swadhyaya Yajna hai, study and Parayanam of the scriptures. Learning to chant is also Parayanam. Memorizing the scriptures is also Parayanam. And this automatically leads to the next yajna, jnana yajna, which is the study of the meaning of the scriptures. So, artha grahana, through inquiry and analysis, is jnana yajna. In the beginning, when Krishna talked about Brahmajnana yajna, it referred to parajnanam or paravidya, spiritual knowledge. Whereas here, Jnana Yajna means and includes all other sciences or disciplines, including Karma Kanta Jnanam, knowledge of scriptures, rituals, Tarkashastra, knowledge of logic, because the scriptures involve a lot of logic also. Knowledge of Mimamsa Sastram, all this is included in this Jnana Yajna which talked about in this sloka. Now, next Krishna talked about pranayama sadhana, which is also considered a very useful spiritual discipline. This is very important for both physical and spiritual health of a sadhaka, because it helps in regulating the pranic energy in the body. Pranayama is a wholesome sadhana both for Stula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram. Then finally, the 12th discipline, Ahara Niyama Yajna, moderation in eating, discipline in consumption of food in terms of types of food, quantity of consumption, timing of consumption, all these are very important. The meaning of ahara, as we saw, is not restricted to our eating, the food alone, diet alone, but extends to all which are consumed through all the five sense organs, like seeing, hearing, smelling, etc. A sadhaka needs to discipline every aspect of his day-to-day activities. More about ahara niyama, Krishna will talk about in the 6th chapter. And in the 17th chapter, he will talk about satvika ahara, rajasa ahara, and tamasa ahara, etc. You will see that all there. So thus, all these yajnas he talked about. Then he talked about the importance of guru and said that one should approach a guru who can communicate his teaching. And in this context, we discussed 3 types of gurus: initiating guru, inspiring guru, and teaching guru. A sadhaka should approach a teaching guru while at the same time showing his reverence towards the other types of gurus. Means inspiring guru and initiating guru. A sadhaka should pay respect to them also, revere them. Initiating guru will give you only some, mantra japa initiation. Inspiring gurus will not teach, but their very life itself will be an inspiration for all others to follow. But only a teaching guru can bring out the essential teaching of the Shastra in a way that the student understands and also seek clarification. And Krishna also emphasized the importance of Guru Seva, that also we saw in detail. Then after emphasizing that liberation can be attained only through jnanam, self-knowledge, he said that with the gaining of self-knowledge, all karmas are burned. All accumulated punya papas are destroyed. And hence the jnani is able to escape the cycle of repeated births and deaths. He also pointed out that self-knowledge acts as a shock absorber, as an insulation for the jnani against the shocks that he may receive while living due to the operation of prarabdha karmas. Because even though all karmas are burnt, all karmas here mean the sanchita karmas and agami karmas. Sanchita karmas are burned, jnani does not accumulate agami karmas, but the prarabdha karma of jnani continues because it has already started its life. At the time of birth of a jnani, the prarabdha karma has started. So they will take their logical course and end only when the jnani's body falls. So even after gaining jnanam, a jnani may suffer a lot of difficulties, lot of shocks he may receive because of the prarabdha karma. But what is his advantage? The jnanam acts as an insulation, as a shock absorber for all these shocks, and he will not be reacting to those shocks in the same way as an ajnani does. And in this context, Krishna discussed 4 benefits of self-knowledge. Mohanashaha, Aikya Darshanam, Papanashaha, and Sarva Karma Nashaha or Sarva Karma Phala Nashaha. Then while concluding, Krishna once again glorified self-knowledge by stating that there is no purifier which is as great as self-knowledge. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitramiha vidyate, he said. But to gain this self-knowledge, the mind must be made very subtle by practice of karma yoga and ashtanga yoga. One must lead a religious life. He says only such a person with a subtle mind will attain self-knowledge. And he also highlights 3 essential qualities which one must possess to attain self-knowledge. What are they? First, he emphasizes Shraddha. He said, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Shraddha means faith in the validity of the scriptures. Then second quality was Tatparaha, devotion and commitment to gaining this knowledge. And Sanyata Indriyaha, restrain or control of the sense organs, which leads to increased focusing capacity. Sanyata Indriyaha. So these are the essential qualities for attaining self-knowledge, the final benefit of which he describes as what? Param Shantim, supreme peace. This is not just a matter of belief. Because other than Advaita Darshanam, even within our own religion, within Hinduism, all other philosophies do not promise Param Shantim while living. It is only Advaita Vedanta promises Param Shantim while living. This can be experienced while living itself. And that is what is called Jivan Muktihi. So with that, the summary is complete. I will say the prayers and then we can take questions if any. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I hope all of you have marked your attendance.
Yes, Guruji.
Yes.
Now you know why I did this exercise. End of the 4th chapter, Krishna says what are all the qualities required for a sadhaka, and I want my students to be sadhakas. That's the reason. Now you can understand the background. All of a sudden, what happened to Acharya ji is doing all these things. Don't think. There is always a cause, a reason behind it. I thought, let me finish the 4th chapter. Because 45 students I have got in the group. Last class, 12 students attended. What does that mean? I mean, are you all serious? And nobody, people earlier were at least sending me a message, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I cannot attend. That was also stopped. Well, are you really interested or not? Or just because once upon a time I just joined it and it's okay. Now the beauty is, after I removed, deleted the names, some people came back. No, we are very much interested. We will regularly attend the classes. Today, I will check whether they were in the class or not. Otherwise, I mean, it's, it's all good to have when we get things free, Like I find, in the airline, when you travel in the airline, especially in business class, first class and all, they will give you one pouch, which will have a toothbrush, toothpaste, some, the closing the eyes, socks and all that. Everybody who he must have traveled in the flights in business class umpteen number of times, but everybody will collect it. Why? Because it is offered free, right? And in fact, okay, collection is fine because something you may use in the flight itself. They will take it away home also. So the point is that whether you require it or not, just because it is available free, you keep on collecting it. I thought I can help the students by circulating this video recording. That has also become actually a negative thing, because people say, okay, video recording is available, I will listen to it whenever possible. That is not the way you are going to get self-knowledge. So if you are serious, be serious. Attend 1 hour in a week. Can't you spare 1 hour amongst out of 168 hours? If you can't, then don't think of it. You are already enjoying a grihastha life or a bachelor life, whatever you are doing. Continue enjoying it, Nobody is forcing you to, pushing you to come to Vedanta and learn all this. I'm not saying you should attend any class, any Vedanta class you are attending, unless you have a Shraddha, Tatparata, and Sanyatendriya. All these 3 qualities, it will be a waste of your time, waste of Acharya's time. So that is the reason why all this happened. I just wanted to explain the background. Okay.
Namaste, Guruji. Thank you. Hari Om. Thank you so much.
Class, any questions? Please come on.
Guruji, amongst the Guru you said, person initiate, inspire, and then teach. Should the Guru who is teaching not have been a person to inspire as well as initiate? Should there be three different gurus?
No, the types of gurus are broadly classified. Okay, I mean, a teaching guru can be a initiating guru, can also be a inspiring guru. Whereas an inspiring guru may not be a teaching guru. For example,
No, why? What is the difference?
What is the difference? I'll give you the example. Ramana Maharshi.
Hmm.
Ramana Maharshi is a very inspiring guru. But he
Okay.
never conducted Vedanta regular classes. He did not explain, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita with Shankara Bhashyam and things like that and all. What did he do when people went and said, what is the road for moksha? What is the, how I will attain moksha? He said, go and ask yourself the question, who am I? Keep on asking, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Close your eyes, do meditation on who am I? You will get the answer. Now you try that. Close your eyes and for ages together you ask, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? What will be the answer you will get? You will get the answer only which is already there in your intellect, in your mind, that I am this body, mind, sense complex. Unless you know that we are composed of two selves, a lower self and a higher self. And my real nature is the higher self. So the answer to the question, who am I, should be Aham Brahmasmi. This answer you will never get from going to Ramana Maharshi, good talker also. He gives lot of gyan in general way, not a teaching guru. Swami Chinmayananda, Swami Dayanand Saraswati and all. Teaching gurus, every word of the scriptures they will explain in a way not only that the student understand, but also student can relate to based upon his day-to-day experience. That is a teaching guru. There may be inspiring guru also.
Exactly.
No problem. Now there are many yoga gurus. In fact, I have seen Swami Niranjanananda of Bihar School of Yoga, very, very accomplished person in yoga. I mean, you just see him, he will inspire you. There's such a calmness, peace, tranquility in his face itself. And he doesn't teach Vedanta, he doesn't teach, at least to the best of my knowledge, even Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras and all, I'm not sure. Maybe in Bihar school, he may be teaching. But whenever he has come to Bombay, I have attended his talks, etc. He gives this thing, what is that? Initiation into japas. He will give you one nama in your ears, he will give you one mantra. Like, Shadakshari, Panchakshari, some mantra he will give. He will say, go on repeating this mantra. So this japa, what is that, Upadesha that we get, they are good for Chitta Shuddhi. They are part of, all these are all part of Karma Yoga, but not part of Jnana Yoga. So this is the essential difference between an initiating guru, inspiring guru, and a teaching guru. I have given you one example of the three types of gurus. And if you want moksha, and if you have got Shraddha in Advaita, Upanishads, etc., you have to go to a teaching guru only. From there only you will get this knowledge. Have I clarified your doubt?
Yes. My thing is, a teaching guru can be both inspiring as well as initiating guru, I am saying.
Yeah.
He can be. Possible. But vice versa is not true.
Vice versa is not true. And it's all for our understanding, because today everybody calls himself a guru, Jagat Guru, Satguru, what all guru. There are so many gurus are there. From a student point of view, since it is about knowledge, knowledge involves teaching. So only a guru who can teach. We must go. And this teaching cannot be in 1 hour lecture or, in some interviews in TV and all that. That will not work at all. It has to be consistent for a length of time. Shravanam itself could take years. And it is not that you are having a doubt. Even without doubt, you have to do Shravanam for a number of years, because all different Upanishads will present the same concept from different standpoints. So even if you don't have a doubt, a potential doubts and all will be cleared by studying various Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, all these scriptures, Vedanta scriptures. That is the way it takes a long time. Mananam may not have so much, it may not take so much time if you do not have any serious doubt. But Nididhyasanam again could take you a long time. Because Nididhyasanam is about getting rid of your old habits. And as I said in the last class, old habits die hard.
Die hard, yes.
Very, very difficult, right?
Yes, yes.
So Nididhyasanam could, and you have to cross all these hurdles as hurdles. Then only you can say, okay, I have got jnanam, I am a jnani. So that is why teaching guru is important, and teaching has to be consistent. In fact, 3.5 years that, in the Gurukulam they teach, it is only a sort of a, what you can say, like you see dresses in the showcase. After that, 3.5 years, if you are seriously interested, the student gets into further. In fact, we don't, we only learn the Bhashyam. We don't learn Tika, Tippani, etc. Of course, the teacher, whoever teaches, uses those texts, but they are not explained to us. Then if the student is interested, he can access these Tika, which are Bhashyams of commentaries on Bhashyams, and understand it, more clearly, that whatever has been taught. So it's a lifelong thing. Once you have entered this, it's a lifelong thing. Even if you have become a jnani, doesn't mean, okay, my job is so I am a jnani. No. Karma yoga, all those disciplines, as a jnani, you have to follow. You cannot say, okay, now I have become a jnani, I've got self-knowledge, and no punya papa will come. So I will go on killing people, raping people and all. No, that will not work. Of course, a jnani will never even think in those terms. But the point is, theoretically speaking,
yes,
a jnani cannot do all those things. So it's a lifelong thing. Once you have entered this, that's it. Whether you are a formal sannyasi or not, even as a grihastha jnani, once you have entered a grihastha jnani, your lifestyle has got to be completely changed.
You have set the course, just follow it.
Yes.
Right.
Set the course, follow it.
When you have set the course, just follow it.
Follow it. And you will get a lot of obstacles even from your own family. I can tell you that. They will not, they don't understand all these things, right? They don't know that you have changed your course. Till yesterday, you are doing everything, dancing and doing everything, jokes and all that. Suddenly, you have changed the course now. They are not with you. They will start
become serious.
They will say you have become pagal. All that they will say.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Now you are a half jnani. Accept everything. Accept them as they are. That's all.
That's what, as you said, no, water on the lotus leaf.
Yeah.
Like water on the duck back.
Like, and I really like that non-stick tawa example of Swamiji.
Yes, exactly.
You can do everything and not stick it. I mean, everything will be there. You will be within the family. You will be within the society, doing everything that you have been doing. But your own take, your own relating to that, the attitude will be different.
Absolutely.
That is the beauty of them. And that is what will lead to peace of your mind.
Peace of mind. Yes, absolutely. I agree.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Yeah, during this thing, I think you mentioned that one was very, very appealing. And yeah, I understand that. In every action, there is inaction, and in every inaction, there is action.
Yeah.
I think that is a very profound kind of a thing.
Yeah, yeah. Very profound state. You must understand that.
Yeah,
It
it's
looks
difficult
very
to understand.
contradictory. The statement
Very.
itself is very contradictory. That is why this Jnanam teaching is required to understand.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you, Guruji.
thank you. Anjali ji.
Yeah, Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Guruji, first of all, thanks for this comprehensive summary. Very nice it was. One point I wanted to know, I couldn't get is, our body is made up of Pancha Mahabhutas and Maya has made it, whereas body of Devata is Mike, you said. That I didn't get. How it is Mike?
Ayika Shariram. See, the process of the creation of this body,
Huh.
Maya does not directly create our body.
Huh.
Maya first creates Pancha Mahabhutas in their subtle form. Sukshma Prapancha is first created. Then from the Sukshma Prapancha, Stula Prapancha is created. So first subtle Akasha, Vayu and all in subtle form. Then from that gross form, Akasha, Vayu, etc. is created. And from each of them, in certain combinations, this body, mind, sense complex is created. Whereas in the case of Ishvara, Maya does not go through this, the Ishvara's body creation does not go through all this process. It goes through it directly from Maya, Ishvara's body is created. So this is all, I mean, the difference between the way the body itself is created. And that is why, you know, when we read Krishna Avatara and all that, even if you and me are born in a hospital or jail and we are restricted there, the doors don't open, we can't walk out, isn't it? Krishna can do.
Yeah, they can do.
Krishna can do.
Yeah.
Then the question is, now you take Ramayana, people ask this question. See, Dasharatha conducted one Putra Kameshti Yaga, and out of that some payasam came, which was given to his wives, and they all conceived and had children.
Yeah.
People ridicule, oh, you eating payasam, you will conceive. Huh? So this is this. So they don't understand, because what was conceived was Ishvara's body.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to necessarily go through all the kind of biological, you know, exercises or actions. So Maya is magic. It can do anything. So there, the Ishvara's body is created through eating this payasam. That is the symbolism which is in Ramayana, rather, right? So this is the difference we have to understand. So we cannot equate. For example, they say Krishna had 1,008 wives or something. I will also have 1,008 wives. One wife itself is very difficult to manage. What to talk about 1,008 wives? But we can't compare ourselves with Krishna's life. We must take the teachings out of that.
Yeah.
All the other things are all Mayika Shariram. They will do so many things. That is not what we can do. Krishna killed Kamsa, his own uncle. Can we go and say, I will kill my uncle? Krishna survived so many poisoning attempts. Why Krishna? Prahlada also survived. Isn't it? But did we survive if we do that?
Yeah.
All these things, we have to understand. Whenever we read Itihasa, Purana and all that, the reading should be restricted to gaining knowledge. What is the teaching of them? What is the value we can take? All these are all superficial things. The body is created and all that theoretical things. Good to know, but to understand the difference between Jiva and Ishvara, it is essential.
Yeah, good for that. Yeah.
And
Okay.
that Krishna devotes one chapter for that avatara. He deals with avatara and that.
Okay, Guruji. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other question?
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om.
Okay. Sorry?
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om. Pranam.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji.
Okay.
Hari Om.
I will-
Thank you.
I will close the class and we see you in the next class.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Thank you all once again.